The Raleigh Fire Museum presents a history of the Victor Fire Company. Before the creation in 1912 of a career Raleigh Fire Department, with fully paid full-time firefighters in their horse-drawn hose wagons, the capital city was protected by volunteer fire companies, citizens who left their homes and businesses to fight fires. Some 20 volunteer fire companies operated before 1912 and dating back to the 1850s and earlier. One of the longest serving of these companies was the all-black Victor Company, organized in 1869 as Fire Company Number 1 and renamed the Victor Company in 1870. They were a colored fire company, as they were called back then, and one of two colored fire companies that served the city. In 1869, the black community in Raleigh asked city officials for permission to create their own fire company. This request was granted on January 8th. By the end of that month, the fire company was reported as having been organized. One of the founding members of the Victor Company was James Jones. He was born a free black in 1831, worked as a brick mason and plasterer in his youth, and by 1850 was hiring himself out as a gentleman's servant waiter. He worked for the family of Confederacy President Jefferson Davis, beginning when Davis sent his wife and children to Raleigh for safety. He served Davis as courier and coachman until the end of the war. In 1868, Jones was appointed head doorkeeper at the North Carolina Constitutional Convention, and that same year he was appointed as deputy sheriff in Wake County, a post that he held until 1876. After helping to organize the fire company, he was elected foreman or leader and served in that capacity until 1882. In 1870, at the North Carolina State Fair, a contest was held for Best Hand Engine. Fire Company Number 1 won the contest, and they were dubbed the Victors by the newspaper, and the name stuck. The Victor Company was housed in Metropolitan Hall upon its completion in 1870. The building served as a combination city hall, market house, fire station, and more. On the bottom floor were engine rooms, where the fire apparatus was stored. They moved into a new engine house in 1890 at the corner of Salisbury Street and Davie Street on the city lot. This building was previously occupied by another fire company, the Phoenix Chemical Company. That engine house burned in April 1897 when it was destroyed by fire. One of the lamps on the horse-drawn hose reel exploded, the building caught fire, the apparatus burned, and the two fire horses were killed. By this time, the city was already planning to build a permanent engine house for the Victor Company. That project proceeded forward, and their new fire station was completed in 1898 at the corner of Hargett and Blunt Streets. There are no surviving pictures of this building when it served as the Victor Engine House. On bottom right is an image from 1913 after the building was serving as City of Raleigh Fire Station Number 3. Over the course of their lifetime, the Victor Company operated three types of fire apparatus. They started by operating a hand engine, first with an 1852 hand tub, and later with a Rumsey hand engine delivered in 1875. This engine was later pulled by horse. In 1887, fire hydrants were installed in the city, and both the Victor's hand engine and the Rescue Company's steam engine were no longer necessary for flowing water at fires. Instead, hoses were connected directly to the new hydrants, which supplied enough water pressure to fight most fires. The Victor Company soon retired their hand engine and began operating a horse-drawn hose reel. They later changed to a horse-drawn hose wagon. Though no pictures survive of the Victor Company, their details were recorded in such documentation as city annual reports. These excerpts from 1889 and 1905 show the equipment as well as member names. In fact, dozens of member names have been recorded from 1869 through 1912. How busy was the Victor Company and the entire fire department in those years? This report of fires from March to November 1903 provides a snapshot. The fire companies, which operated as a unified volunteer fire department, answered 31 alarms of fire. The Victor Company was in service or fought fire at 5 of those. In December 1912, the first full-time, fully paid firefighters were placed in service in the newly organized career fire department that still operates today. The city took ownership of all of the volunteer engine houses and their equipment. They also hired a few of the volunteer members, though only the white ones. The new Raleigh Fire Department was entirely white. The Victor Company's engine house, hose wagon, and equipment were placed in service in February 1913 as Hose Company 3, later renamed Engine Company 3. Hose Company 3 and later Engine Company 3 operated at that location from 1913 to 1951 when it moved to its current location on Southeast Street. On a side note, Station 3 on East Hargett Street was closed from 1917 to 1919 when the city planned to build a new Station 3 on East Martin Street. The project was canceled and the fire station was reopened. Looking back, here are the milestones of the Victor Company from 1869 to 1913. Black firefighters returned to the ranks of the Raleigh Fire Department in 1963 and 1964 with the hiring of 7 African American men, and thus began a legacy of diversity across all ranks from firefighter to chief of department. To learn more about the Victor Company, the volunteer fire companies, and the City of Raleigh Fire Department and its history, visit the websites raleighfiremuseum.org or lagares.com/history.